All right. Okay.
Just mentions Bob Carroll, geez, and all hell breaks loose.
Sausages.
Oh, well, you stop doing this. Why is this doing this? Why is this doing this? Look, drop the toolbar. Drop the toolbar, god damn it. Oh, I know why. It's Spotify. There we go. Now let's start the show. We've been live for God knows how long already, but fuck it. Here goes the show.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Hello. Ooh, hello. Who's a good dog? Who's a good dog? Oh, who's a good... Carry on. There's a doggy.
Show your teeth. Show your teeth.
Sausages.
Oh, don't say that. That's his trigger word. Ooh, sausages.
Flesh.
Oh dear, we're a bit in a disarray at the moment. I haven't even put any messages out on Facebook or Twitter about this. So I have no idea if
I put
anybody's...
one out at the wrong time because,
Adam's here because I met him for lunch. There we go. So I've no idea if anybody's going to turn up and actually watch this. Anyway, hello. Yeah. On tonight's show, we have Eddie.
And Bob Carroll G's and Spit the Dog.
Yep, Bob Carroll G's and Spit the Dog. And Brian.
Hi.
Full of enthusiasm, as you can see. Yes. Mainly because I've just turned around and told them, because Saturday nights we do a role-playing evening, an RPG, paper, dice sort of thing, except we do it online. And it's on a Twitch stream, on this Twitch stream, and it's a Marvel Heroes thing. El Presidente there, that's Tom Terak in chat, he's part of it, and as is Spanky. Yep. And I've just turned around and told them that they've managed to get themselves into the deepest possible shit. Except they don't know it yet. You'll find out. Anyway, on tonight's delicious show, we have Gallifrey, the box set. Well, the first one of the box set. We were going to do the first two, but I ran out of time to listen to the second one. So we're going to do the first one of those, just to get an overall impression. Sapphire and Steel, Adventure 3. Is that right? It is, isn't it? Assignment 3?
Yes, assignment 3.
Assignment 3.
Yep. And there was something else we were going to do.
I don't think that was it.
I think that was it. I don't know. I mean, Picard was there, wasn't it? I enjoyed Picard. Picard was nice and
Picard was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed. But was it good simply because it was Troy and Riker, or was it good because it was good?
I think it was good because it was good.
Okay. All right.
I'm waiting for next week, though.
Well, remember, there's not much left. I think there's only, 3 episodes left?
Yes, but Seven's coming back.
Anything that features...
Spoil it, why don't you?
It was in the preview.
We didn't get the preview. It's on Amazon. We don't get coming soon because you Americans have to be reminded of everything and have adverts every 2 seconds. Bloody hell.
Coming back.
Oh, we've lost him. Oh, God. Hello, Sean McKenna. Harvey, you're a good... Hey, is that the son?
That's the son, yeah, the old
son.
one. That's number one son.
Righty-ho. It's Charlie Chan time, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Sean. I'm Siobhan. And we will be meeting. And I will be expecting a written report of all the embarrassing things your father has done over the years that I can read out on this show, please.
Oh, you'll do that now. don't do that now, Sean. Don't.
It's all right. Don't worry. He won't do anything. Right then. Where are we? Oh, fucked if I know. Oh yes, and a bit later on, I'll let you know what's coming up for next week's show.
Which we don't know yet.
Yeah, I thought. Well, we'll come to that anyway. So, shall we try and do a really clever and really awesome video wipe thing?
Oh, please do. Let's see how it works.
Let's see how smooth we get it done tonight. One of these days, someone will actually suggest some way of doing it for me that will work, and it's nice and smooth and all intertwined and all lovely. Third monitor. I swear that's what it is. It's a third monitor. Does this wipe need toilet roll? Unfortunately, there is none.
Wet
Yeah.
wipes needs a freshy fresh.
Yeah, and now for the world's piece of television's Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who. Marks out of 10, please, for the quality of that wipe. Hello, Ness, you've still not got in touch with me. I don't know. Right, now they're talking about the coronavirus and panic buying. We've lost them again. They've gone. They're off doing their own thing. I don't know. Right. So, the second Romana and the second CIA coordinator from Big Finish, Narvin, I keep wanting to call him Vancell all the time, are travelling in a TARDIS. It's not looking good. There's Daleks everywhere, this, that and the other, and they end up crash landing on the ship. Good old pasta. Sorry, I'm reading the chat here. It's This is one of the things about doing a show live. I thought this is going to be great. Everybody's going to be able to interact with us and this, that and the other. And
how is pasta going to protect you from the coronavirus?
that's very true. How is Ness? We want to know the answer to this.
Our local Tesco was the same. It was out of pasta.
I think it's because it's a food that will last a long time in storage.
Right.
And they're worried that for some bizarre reason they're going to be locked into their house and not allowed to go to the shops to buy some pasta.
I'm actually looking forward to being quarantined. Be a nice little
I'm
vacation.
looking forward to you being quarantined. I'm going to be honest.
You can, because I'll still have the internet, all just for you.
Block button. If you can hear a noise, it's my dog sorting her bed out. She grabs things from around the house and takes it to her bed. And I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't looked. Trixie, what are you doing? You can wag your tail at me, young lady. Oh, dear God, I have absolutely no. That's true. As long as you know where your towel is, you'll be fine. So, this is Gallifrey Time War. Now, I suffered a bit of disconnect coming into this, and I think possibly the lads did too. This is a different Gallifrey setup than the normal Gallifrey stuff. Now, the last Gallifrey box set I had, Narvin had basically just opened up the Time War by sending somebody back to Skaro to get the Doctor to go and do his Genesis of the Daleks thingy. This is well into it. I think this is a different range somehow.
Yeah, I did a wee bit of research. Apparently, both of them have been exiled by, not Omega. Who's the one that's in charge of the...
Oh, God. Oh, well, take your pick nowadays. Is it Rassilon? Is it...
Rassilon.
Tripitaka? Is it... I mean, I don't know.
They've been exiled. They've been exiled into deep space, and they're trying to avoid, obviously, the the Daleks and everybody else that hates the Time Lords because of the war as well. So they're in exile in deep space.
Yeah, and they land on this place where, well, is that a Time Lord station?
Some sort of battle cruiser, was it not?
Yeah.
It's a ship. It's some kind of ship.
It's obviously been attacked and everything else like that. But they land there, and there's a life reading. And, well, basically, they need stuff to repair their TARDIS with. And there's lots of TARDISes in the TARDIS bays, which makes me wonder, is this ship dimensionally transcendental? And if so, how the hell does it have TARDISes inside it? Because, as we know, that's a bad thing.
Yep.
No idea. So, guys, what did you make of it?
It was a good little wee story, but I didn't really engage with it, to be quite honest. Their TARDIS is broken. They meet Trellick, who seems to be trapped there with a creature called Catal. We don't know if Trellick is.
You've made notes.
I have, and I'm reading them.
You've not learnt the flashing blade way yet.
No, I'm still a noob.
He didn't see it. He was so busy reading his notes, he didn't see it. It's a shame.
But it's very X-Files-ish in terms of their relationship. It's very Mulder and Scully. Oh, hold on. Before you start. Difference is I can't eat mine.
Why can't you eat yours?
I'm watching my food down take it.
Oh, I'm watching my figure. I don't get a choice. It's everywhere.
Just remember, round is a shape.
Sean,
that's very true.
John, this will be here for you next time you're round.
You see your son soon. That's nice. It's a shame you have to bribe him, but there we go.
Yeah, I know. But it's because one's very sceptical, one's very empathic even, and it was a very padded out. It was how many 7 parts or something to get through it? And I know it's the Big Finish is pretty different, but it was
7
a case
parts?
Of 7 sections, or whatever they.
It's only about an hour long, surely.
Yeah, but it's the way it's composed, the setup. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular. It was an introduction maybe to the new
That's
season.
what I felt like it was.
Yeah.
It was a straightforward adventure, which I've got to admit, for a Time War story, I'm actually quite pleased about. It's a good introduction to get you into that universe.
Well, it's also a return of Romana.
Oh, she's always been around.
Yeah, I know, but it's nice to see her every now and then.
It sets up the whole thing around, because I listened to the second. If I've been called a SWAT, I'm a SWAT, always was.
Is it fruit and nut, by the way?
It is, yeah, fruit and nut. It's got to be the chocolate of kings.
Oh, you and I are going to have words, Scat Hooverville, I'll tell you that now.
So it sets the whole thing up. The Time Lords are not necessarily, it's shades of grey with them. It's a case of there's all these innocent people that are caught up within the Time War, people being species being experimented on to actually work. It does set the thing up, but the next story I prefer better. But I won't talk about that because I know we'll be looking at that.
No, you're not allowed to.
So really, what is it with the Time Lords that you can't swing a dead cat without hitting an evil one?
I think it's something to do with their genetic makeup. It's just inside them. It's just born into them for some reason. God knows where they get it from.
Took all the evil from the Doctor and
So what we're saying is all the other Time Lords in existence are in fact the Valyard.
Except for Romana.
Except for Romana.
And his mother, because those are the only two that stood against the rest.
I was about to say, his Romana, his, hang on. Oh, we won't get into the whole gendering thing. I might mention it afterwards, but anyway.
No, Romana's not his mom.
I got a rant to have a bit later on. It's a consumer report. You're going to enjoy this one. A consumer report. Anyway, sorry, go on, Eddie.
No, I was going to say it's this season. This serials or whatever it's called for Big Finish. Sorry, I'm new, kind of fairly new to that as well. It does set up the whole thing around the Night of the Doctor and McGann's Doctor. It's trying to help somebody, and it was like doesn't want to go with them and hates the Time Lords as much as the Daleks. So
Night of the Doctors.
Yeah. So if this is going to kind of set up and act as the kind of the introduction to that, yeah, looking forward to it.
I don't think it's technically that, but I mean it could be seen as that. It's they've done a lot of Time War stuff now, Big Finish, mostly with the War Doctor and the War Master, and obviously McGann's Doctor as well. It's a nice, simple one. This the opener of the Gallifrey Time War box set. It's clear, it's unmuddled, it's well done, it's well written, lovely sound design, and it's a good entrance into it, I think. I think that's the best way of looking at it. It's a case of we're back with a new set. I think we're going to need to ease people in a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, not to try and put people off.
But it's kind of prompted me to go back and listen to the earlier ones, because now I just want to know why Romana's been exiled.
Well, that's just it. I was actually having a little look at my Big Finish list. Trouble is, because obviously I get the review copies, they don't stay. You got to grab them whilst they're there. I get about the past 2 months worth, and then suddenly there's this gap back to 2014. And it's a case of, no, right, there's stuff I wanted to listen to and I can't now. I mean, I wanted to listen to the last Third Doctor box set so I could have a real good listen to John Culshaw's Brigadier, but that's not around, unfortunately. I'll have to have a word with Benji or somebody, see if we can... I don't know. But, yeah. So, but Brian, you haven't really said too much about it. What did you think?
I thought it was good. The part where... Okay, they go back, they land on the ship, they find the unidentifiable alien monster, the BEM of the week.
Yes.
And
Hey, no BEMs. We don't do BEMs.
What do you do?
We have little mutated blobs inside of metal shells. Seriously, Sydney, we don't do BEMs. Carry on.
And they find out that, plot twist, the Time Lords are bad.
No. Surely not.
Shocking, right?
What is it about them that just makes them... They're A, really bad, and B, really crap.
Yeah, they're really crappy at being bad.
They are. But they're just
They're
really
horrible.
crap.
They can take lessons from the master. They need lessons. But you have this whole thing going on, and it's like point A to point B to point C. And you can follow it very easily.
And I think it needed it as an introduction.
As an introduction, yes, but it was kind of... They foreshadowed a lot of it.
It'll
I
be
want to know
interesting
what happened to the alien race that they engineered.
Well,
I mean, the monster was almost all powerful.
well, that's just it. I mean, he was able to mess... I was reminded of the Temperon, actually. It wasn't the Temperon, but it reminded me of it. And long story. All right, but at cautious thumb... Well, I've actually got a big thumbs up for it. Brian, cautious thumbs up for you?
Yes, plus Lala Ward.
Pervert. And you, Eddie?
Yeah, it was okay, but there's better to come. There's definitely better to come.
I don't need to see that face, Brian.
Okay, I'm better. I'm back.
Mind bleach, please, somebody. If you could send me some, I'd be very, very grateful. Okay, so we've not actually got that much really to talk about Doctor Who. There's no new Doctor Who on the electric television for a while. I have to admit, I have been having a whale of a time on social media just reading the responses to it, to the point that the BBC felt they had to release a statement about how they can't please everybody. I don't know what's worse, the fact that fandom criticism, which isn't all over the place, but they shout louder than anybody else, caused this, or the fact that the BBC actually did it. The BBC doesn't have to bloody apologise for doing stuff like that. The show's
Never
not...
apologize for something like
No,
that.
the show's not made for us. I mean, I'm what, 52 for Christ's sakes. You know, they don't. I'm not their target audience. Their target audience is a 9-year-old somewhere. You know, it wants his bit of fun. And
To get through it though, and I kind of alluded to it last night. So if you read that statement in the voice of Father Jack apologising, that's the only way you get through this. We're awfully sorry. Really sorry. It has to be read that way, or it's
all right. In that case, you've given me an opening, which I am going to take. Father Ted, written by Graham Lynham, transphobic twat. It's a shame because it's made up. I admire his work. I admire his things like Father Ted and the IT Crowd and whatever. But I do not make a point of not watching them. It's just if I do watch them, I just feel bad about it because of who he is. Now, recently, there's the spectre of James Dreyfus has raised his head again. Now, James Dreyfus is an actor who's recently come into the role of the Master. And for Big Finish, that is. Unfortunately, James Dreyfus is a transphobic arsehole. And when people found out about it, they tried to lynch Big Finish, which was so wrong. I've known the people at Big Finish since they were audio visuals. They were just fans hanging out, drinking and everything else like that, before they were doing all this professionally. There isn't an ist or a phobe among them. The latest thing was basically DWM were reviewing, I think it's the Psychic Circus, Sylvester McCoy story, and it's got James Dreyfus as the Master. And DWM did its job by fairly and accurately reviewing this story. They put a photo of James Dreyfus. Straight away there's calls to lynch DWM. And like I say, DWM's just doing its job. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be seeing much more of James Dreyfus at Big Finish. They're having to release the stuff they recorded with him a couple of years ago, because that's how long these things, that's how long the run-up is on these things, 9 times out of 10. They record them a couple of years ago, then they gently go through the system and eventually get produced. Considering what happened with him, the fact he publicly threatened to lawyer up against them, I don't see him coming back. And in this particular instance, DWM reviewing this, they just did their job. It is not for them to police on things like that. They're not turning around and supporting James Dreyfus's views. And again, I think Percy's still the assistant editor at DWM. He's another old friend from back in the day. And I can guarantee you they're not arseholes there either. So if anybody who's probably watching this on YouTube or whatever has been feeling a little bit sort of don't, all right? These guys, they're just doing their job. Big Finish got put into an awkward position by an arsehole. DWM just doing their job, reviewing things. They can't really, it's not for them to get involved on that side of things. They just the facts, man, basically. That's what the review is. Just the facts, man. No editorialising. And fair dues. So leave them alone, basically. I've had a bit of a week of it with being hit around the head with the anti-trans bat. I've lost at least one friend over it. And it's been a difficult week. What you might not know is I get a load of abuse online, obviously simply because I'm trans, and I don't let it go public, obviously. But I'd had some abuse over a news article, and then somebody in real life decided to sit me down and tell me what was right and wrong for me as a trans person, essentially. And with the greatest of respect, people who aren't trans don't have the personal experience to be able to understand it. It is really one of the... It's the old thing of, if you don't know, we can't tell you. If you do know, well, we don't need to. Do you know what I mean? It's... Unless you're trans, you don't know what it's like being trans. Unless you're black, you don't know what it's like being black. You know, it isn't for us to judge these things. It really isn't. So, bottom line here is be kinder, please, people. Yeah, just be kinder. That wasn't supposed to be a rant. Hopefully it wasn't a rant. But there will be a rant coming. Oh, look at the smug face.
I'm just, strapping in.
Are you really, love? Okay. I don't want to know.
Strapping in, putting the seatbelt on, returning the tray to the upright position.
And the safe word is?
Comfy cheers.
No, safe word is always kumquat. Or Kool-Aid if you're stanky.
And that, she said, doing a seamless video wipe, was Doctor Who, except we've got a slight problem, because I've just remembered I still haven't edited this down. So we're going to have a little bit. We're going to see if Eddie's still talking when the music gets louder. Okay, Brian, could you possibly put your hands over your eyes? Eddie, if you wouldn't mind, thank you very much. I think that's about right. Don't you? Next week, we're going to be looking at Donna Noble, Kidnapped. It's the return of Donna. This is fucking excellent. We love Donna. Hated her in The Runaway Bride, but loved her in the series. Guys?
Oh, yeah.
Totally. A Runaway Bride, when they said that we're bringing her back in the series, I thought, no, that's just not going to work. This is what on earth are they thinking of? But that first episode, right? And am I talking over the titles? I've been
No, not yet.
Right.
Oh. Hooray! Adam, why are you at Southend Pier? Do you want to explain that? He's just coming out of hitchhiker quotes now. I don't know why. I'm worried, quite frankly. Yeah, what else did we doing of this week? Not that, Brian. Sapphire and Steel. Oh, yeah.
Sapphire and Steel, yeah.
I've just been told that The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is 42.
I remember when I was 42, many years ago.
That was 10 years ago for me. Over 42. Of course, it's made the actual number, hasn't it?
For me.
They did a thing at the British Library. Apparently, a load of Douglas Adams' work is going to be patterned into or programmed into a crystalline hard drive, for want of a better description. This thing, the future of data storage. And I think, how apt, something for Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is going to be in there. You know, I thought that. Oh, it's this very evening they're doing that. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what the news reports are for that. I have to admit, I'm very partial to Hitchhiker's Guide. Every now and again, every few years, I should imagine, I go through a phase of just basically listening to the first two radio series, one episode a night with the lights off. Just because it's so good. The sound on it is amazing.
I like to watch the film with the lights off and the sound off and the TV off.
Oh, and Nessie's just said on Radio 4 Extra as well. Oh, that's cool. I remember when that was BBC Radio 7. But apparently it wasn't allowed to be anymore. All we know that the extra is 3. So it's Radio 4 3. So anyway, talking about transdimensional things. Sapphire and Steel are on a roof.
Outside broadcast. Out of the studio.
They were out of the studio, yeah, and it was filmed as
They were
well.
out of the studio. They went up to the roof.
They went up to the roof. They were allowed out for a change. Trying to explain the plot. There is some sort of ship, container, habitation. There's something there that shouldn't be there, and there's a problem with time in it. So their first thing is getting into the
Time capsule.
yeah, thank you very much. Time capsule, yeah. And then they've got to sort out the problem.
Which took, what, half the...
You have a problem with this, don't you? You really, really have a problem with this.
I don't like this one. I have to say.
Come on. The first 3 episodes, watching Joanna Lumley looking windswept on a roof, that was lovely. That's just...
Sorry, is this just turning into a show of perverts again?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It was bad enough when Davies was on here. And Hatcher. Dear God.
Don't let me go through my purdy. I can't even see with my Scottish.
Pudder. Aye, pudder.
Watching Steel almost get killed by a goose, however.
I thought it was I was going to say, I thought it was a flying pillow.
Pillow that became a swan, that became a pillow.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. I thought that the grown-up kid was very creepy.
Oh,
well
yeah,
cast.
I've seen him before in other things. He's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
But what that poor child's going to grow up to be like that? And then there's a bit at the end where it was the mum says, "So is that my child when she grows up? When he grows up?" And she got this big proud grin. It was like, "Why are you smiling?"
I would not smile. That kid was ugly.
No.
I would like to say it's got the worst acting in Sapphire and Steel in this one, which is the bloke in the capsule.
Oh, Eldred.
It had to be an Eldred, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Evolved's sense of privacy.
Oh, God. He
Not
couldn't
perfect.
act. He was
Not
wood.
perfect again. Rothram is lovely, and Eldred is kind of well punching above his weight. So fair play to him, but no, he couldn't. No. Sean, it's my son that does a little bit of acting. You could have done better.
Well, that's
Silver
not exactly
was
much
amazing.
encouragement, if I'm honest with you. If the guy's that bad,
Yeah.
Sean, you could have done a hell of a lot better, love.
On the entire episode.
No, it was interesting message in it about animal abuse.
Yeah.
Section
Yeah,
they're
that
lost
didn't work
within
either.
it though, and that creepy fetus visual.
What was that thing that came out of the wall? Some kind of slug?
No, it was the actual biological
Biomechanical.
thing that they'd created
Yeah.
to power the time device.
Very Geiger. That was. Did this come before or after Alien? Because it was
Just after, I think, yeah. Alien was
Just after.
77, wasn't it?
budgeted down alien kind of creature. It was very Geiger in terms of it would look.
But I mean, I went back. 9 times out of 10, when we're doing things like this, I don't need to go back and watch them. Like Whoops Apocalypse, when we did that, but I still did. I did for Whoops Apocalypse, and I did for Sapphire and Steel. I binged all 6 stories, and I've got to admit, this is the one people don't like the most. But I enjoyed it, especially this time round.
Yeah,
I couldn't get into it.
Well, you needed Silver.
Much like the capsule, I couldn't get into it.
Talking of which, Silver, you did ask if any other agents would be turning up.
Silver was a refreshing, fresh breeze. He was awesome. And then they killed him. And then they brought him back.
Look back. Well, he was sent into the past or into the future or sideways. It was not really very well explained.
Yeah, you may not have seen the last of Silver. I'll say that. His turn in Sapphire and Steel had a lot of people calling for him to be cast as the Doctor. He'd been in Robots of Death as Paul, and was very good in it. And yeah, people at the time were asking, he'd make a really good Doctor. And in the end, they did get him into Doctor Who, wearing Tom Baker's coat and with a plate of spaghetti bolognese on his head. So that was nice.
I like how he yelled at Steel.
Yes. Well,
is there a hierarchy there, though? Because what I took for that is there was a lot of bossing about of Sapphire by Steel, and he was kind of more, seems to be a kind of higher up, more. He was bossing Steel about, and Steel was just kind of relegated in his mind for the muscle that was the one that was fixing the lift.
Steel's the guy in charge.
You think so?
Yes. Sapphire, like you say, I had the impression that while she's been at it a while, she's still maybe not under tutelage from him, but because he's the more experienced agent, he's the one in charge. Whereas Silver's a technician, completely different department, so he can just come in here and take the piss out of Steel left, right, and centre, which is good.
So
you
need
somebody
Silver
who can
is
do that
Q.
too. He's not
Silver
Q.
is Q. Well, he's a technician.
Oh, sorry, Q. Sorry, I'm thinking of Q.
I'm thinking James Bond Q.
No, I was thinking Star Trek.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
Can
I
you
like John
imagine
Delancey.
these people seeing John Delancey as Q?
Hang on, I'm thinking back to the Party Animals strip in DWM. Oh, there's a chance they might have. No, Picard was there, as well as Sapphire and Steel. And Dev's Head. Long story, Brian, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Not that I'm a gossip or anything, but so obviously there was intimated that Lead and Sapphire had a bit of a relationship. Do you think similar there with Steel and...
You see, this is why the newspapers are as bad as they are. People like you want to know, ooh, let's see who's having it off with who. No, she never.
Say no more.
Pearly, eh? Pearly.
Purdy.
Oh, Purdy even, yes, I missed a trick there. Yeah, I like that one. Better than I thought I did. So that's good. Now, next week, assignment 4 is just a 4-parter.
Oh.
So you'll be fine with that, Brian. And it's one of the ones that a lot of people remember. I'm not going to say why.
I've really enjoyed them because, again, with this one as well, sorry to go back a little bit, it was like there was things that happened in it that I totally forgot as a kid. Maybe just blacked it. There were group suicide in this one.
Yes,
yeah.
Family suicide. This is on the 7 in the evening.
7 o'clock UK kids.
3 family suicide, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see what I've totally mind wiped myself about episode 4. Or assignment 4, sorry. Which one is that, Siobhan? What's just
the face?
Oh, yeah, I can remember that one. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, lots of photographs in it.
Yes, the very famous one.
Yeah. So I'm hoping you might enjoy it. Now, because it's only a 4-parter, I've asked Brian if he's got more time on his hands, and he has. So I thought, well, we'll lighten the mood a little bit, all right? We'll go for some mid-80s comedy. I suppose it's a docu-comedy, really. It's about this family, 2 families, actually, and sort of the ties that bind them, and how those sort of ties, can just be gotten rid of by the smallest of events. What's it called now? Oh, yeah. Threads.
Oh, God. Bennett.
Oh, dude. What fresh hell are you preparing for me?
I have been dreaming for this moment for most of the week since I came up with it.
This is our revenge.
Eddie's reaction and your reaction to Eddie.
I seriously, I've got a phobia about this thing. I've avoided any time that's been anywhere. There is a place in St Andrews, which is it's an ex-nuclear hidden bunker that shows this. There's a room that shows this constantly on loop. I refuse to go into this room because even just reading about this and the pictures of the traffic warden, and
all right, Ed. I'll give you a pass, love. Seriously, if it really is that, I mean, I know what you're walking into. So, if you don't want to see it, don't. It's all right.
It's maybe time that I face my fear. So I'm going to go for it. I'll go for it.
All right, but don't. Brian, Threads. Do you remember a program in America called The Day After? It was a film, a telefilm, about a nuclear attack on.
With Jason Robards.
I've no idea. It was a nuclear attack on.
Yeah, it was Jason Robards, and I've avoided that one.
I've seen that a long time ago.
Okay, this, as well as The Day After, was shown to President Reagan in private, and after he'd been announcing the Soviet Union, whatever, as the evil empire and this, that, and the other, and he came out after watching these films, and his whole attitude to the Soviet Union had been changed. Peace at all costs. The American one is. They are very similar, to be fair, in story setups and whatever. But you've got to take into account. And Threads is not a remake of The Day After, it's an original piece. But you've got to take into consideration the difference between British and American television storytelling. The Day After is very much an American mini series or TV movie of the week sort of thing. A lot of money spent on it, obviously, to get it to look right, but it still has certain cosy elements to it. Threads doesn't do that to you. I'm warning you now, Brian, you are in for a harrowing ride. Eddie and I saw this when we were at school. When it was first. Good. I'll tell you more next week.
It was shown once, wasn't it, Siobhan? And then it was never shown for years later. I think it's been shown maybe once or twice.
It was shown once, and the thing is, the BBC had also done a programme in the 60s called The War Game, which was banned. They weren't allowed to show it.
Is it worse or better than Damnation Alley?
Eddie, I've not seen Damnation Alley.
Damnation Alley is this is in a different plane of existence, Brian.
I'm warning you now, Brian. This is going to be harrowing for you.
Damnation Alley. I enjoy Damnation Alley. It's stupid, good old fashioned kind of nuclear war, generating big huge ants romp. This is as real as it's going to get.
Yeah. Basically, that's hopefully it's as real as it's gonna get.
Hopefully, it's never going to happen, and we're never going to see it. But I've read about it, Siobhan, and even reading about it, I don't know if I can watch this. But
I still get the odd nightmare. Let's put it that way. So, no comedy, I'm afraid, Brian. You're in for something quite harrowing. Fair warning, all right, mate?
Okay.
God, he seems so blasé right now. Can you wait till he's going to be like next Sunday?
We'll be there to mop up the tears.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have. And if he watches it before Saturday, all he's going to be doing throughout the whole evening, while we're role-playing, is just...
The fuck did you make me watch?
Yeah, basically.
I need an adult.
So next week we have Sapphire and Steel, Assignment 4. We have Donna Noble Kidnapped. I'm not sure how many stories are in the box, but we'll certainly do the first one to give you a flavour of it. I have to admit, I am really rather looking forward to listening to that, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
And we're going to be watching Threads. So you don't have to. We suffer for our art.
I'm going to be watching Threads, so you don't have to.
I'll watch it again. I have a thing about realish nuclear war stuff. I hunt it out on YouTube an awful lot. Stuff like Threads, The War Game, which was on iPlayer. It might still be on iPlayer, actually, in the 1960s. Little half hour or however long it was piece about nuclear war in Britain. It's remarkable how quaint it is compared to Threads, but it's still hard hitting. Yeah, no, there's all sorts of little bits and pieces on YouTube and whatever. I don't know why. I like to torture myself with it. I don't know what it is. There's some sort of...
And by torturing yourself, you're going to torture me with it. I understand.
No, again, I am trying to give you some sort of context, in a patronising way, of what it was like for Eddie and me as we were growing up, and the sort of stuff we were seeing around things like Doctor Who. You know? Over here in Britain.
And also to explain our psychosis, Brian.
Yeah.
This is really...
Yeah, and of course the psychosis. Chat has gone very quiet since we mentioned Threads.
Yeah, it's funny that.
Yeah, they all seem scared.
You can't imagine why for the life of me. There's very, very quickly the attack scene. This is mainly for Eddie. But there's a program called We Love the 80s. And they did a piece on Threads.
I've seen this. Yep.
Yeah.
That's...
And for the attack scene, when they basically showed a clip of the attack scene, they put the bloody instrumental from Ultravox's Vienna over the top of it.
That's why I can't listen to it. I've never thought about that. That's why I can't listen to Mature.
But
that and
that was We Love the 80s. That wasn't Threads. You know, it was just a clip from Threads.
That's probably the closest I've got to watching it is that We Love the 80s.
But it worked so horrifically well. You know, one of my favourite ever pieces of music. And Threads! Oh, that was just, no, don't do this to me.
I should have used the birthday song.
Ah, Kev McCulloch.
Yeah.
Used to take the piss out of him at conventions.
We really need to, at some point in time, watch Tomorrow People again.
Oh, I'm game. We're just not going to watch a Man for Emily. All right? I do not need to see Peter Davison in tight blue underwear. Joe did back in the day on The Flashing Blade, but that's a whole different story. Yeah. Gonna be a fun week this week. Do you want to rant?
Yeah,
sure. Let's have a rant. Hang on. Trey's in upright position.
I'm going on mute so I can get the full-blown effect. There you go.
We're closing the petting zoo.
I'm waiting to see what sign Eddie's going to hold up. Anyway, Adam, you already know about this. A couple of weeks ago, I thought I would buy myself a t-shirt, a Jodie Whittaker t-shirt, red with the rainbow. And I thought, that's a nice t-shirt. I can wear it out. It's not really cosplay, you know. It's just a lovely top. Lovely, great one. If only somebody from Cadbury could see that. We'd be inundated with chocolate. Ah, Sean, your father's left you something. Is it the house? No, it's this. That's what you need to do in your will. All right, just leave him a bar of chocolate.
A bar of fruit and nut, you'll love that. He
Yeah.
eats fruit.
Yep. Are you pleased, Adam, as well? We were discussing Whisper Bars last night. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, this Jodie Whittaker thing. Now, the site, Her Universe, it's called, was recommended to me by a friend. And I don't want this friend feeling at all bad about what happened, because it's not her fault at all. Do you hear me, Lilibet? All right, this is not your fault, sweetheart. A box of cream eggs? Oh, ungrateful sod. Your father was going to leave you chocolate, but no, not good enough for you, is it? No, gotta have cream eggs. They're only on sale 11 months of the year. Jesus.
Off the boat. Off the boat. Done.
Wow, disinherited. It was not malicious. Caramel.
Sorry, back to rant.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sorry. Yes. I like having your son in chat. This amuses me. Right. So, partly this is my fault. I got the right size, everything else like that, and I just clicked the PayPal thing through. Didn't really look what I was doing. You know, it was coming from America, so I thought, well, the postage is probably going to be between £5 and £8, something like that. And ta-da. Then I get the email of confirmation. This £20 T-shirt was going to cost £38 in postage. A few days later, I picked myself back up off the floor, and I wasn't too happy about it, but as I said, my fault for clicking it through. Slowly seething that they had the temerity to charge so much. But it gets better. Oh, it gets better. Last week, I got a card through the letterbox from Mr. Postman. Dear Siobhan, it said. Well, it didn't, but you get the idea. Look, we've got a parcel for you, but there's a customs fee owing on it before we can deliver it. What? Went online and checked. An £11 customs fee. For some reason, it was coming from Germany. I emailed her universe and said, "Oi, hang on a moment, this isn't on. Yeah, you're charging £38 for postage for something that shouldn't cost £38 to post, and also, you know, what about the customs fee on top of that? Now, I want to spend more with you, because I like your products, and fair dues. Like I say, I've now got the top, and it's a lovely top. But you know, what are you going to do to keep the custom? All I got was a copy-paste reply about legal obligations for postages and customs fees and whatever. And that was it. It was copy-paste, nothing. I have replied, and I've heard nothing since. So her universe, as Adam says, caveat emptor. Yeah, her universe, they're a cosplay site, not just Doctor Who, everything else like that. If you're going to order from there, double check everything. My £20 T-shirt ended up costing me £70. So, yeah, bit of consumer advice there. It could be a potential death trap. If anybody can tell me where that's from, I'll be very impressed. There you go. Anybody, either of you anything silly like that?
I bought a full steampunk outfit from Historic Emporium for Halloween.
Did anything go wrong with it?
No, actually, they're very good.
Wonderful.
It actually
Great.
feels like clothing.
Yes, now that's rare for a cosplay thing.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a costume at all. It's very comfortable. I'd love to wear it daily.
I can't believe that. 70 bloody quid. And just a
70 quid.
copy-paste reply.
I actually think I have pictures of it still on my phone. I'll have to share it later.
Oh, yes, please, because I'll put it up on next week's show. No, I won't. That would involve having to do something else and me getting very confused with screens and everything else like that. So, I think that's about it. God, we've been going for nearly an hour.
My goodness.
I know. And yeah, say hello to the people on YouTube. We're doing this live on Twitch.
Hello to the people on YouTube.
Because there is an audience on YouTube. It's not very big, but I don't give a damn about that. I'm just really surprised people are watching this, and they seem to be watching it regularly. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Like I say, Saturday nights we do the role-playing Twitch stream, which is Eddie, Brian, Adam there, Tom Tarek in chat, and Spanky. Yeah. It's not safe for work, let's put it like that. And quite right,
It's
Adam.
not safe for adults.
Nice,
let
sensible.
alone children.
It's spanky. It's not safe for human consumption.
Literally. I'm sorry, but we
Beware
do
of the-
Twitch stream the RPG sessions, so you're welcome to tune in and watch us doing this, and maybe even comment.
Beware the Kool-Aid.
Oh, God, the Kool-Aid. First of all, I had to explain that Kool-Aid could come in powdered form.
didn't
How
that
does
the
he know
Kool-Aid
these
was a
things?
mix?
How does he know that in prison they use strawberry Kool-Aid powder as a way of putting lipstick on? How does he know
How
this?
did you not know Gen Pop was the
Who?
actual prison? Gen Pop. GENPOP.
What is that?
General population.
Oh, yes, we went through that last night. Why don't you just say people like everyone else? Bloody Americans. Degenerate colonists. Yes, all right. That's the equivalent of underlining what you've just said.
Oh,
Exactly.
and don't get Sean started, because he'll tell you why the English and the Brits were in the right place, were actually the good guys in the American Revolution. Isn't that right, Sean? Over to chat.
Whilst he's doing that, Brian, what you lot call a victory, we call a lucky fucking escape, mate.
Hey, that's okay. Our terrorists beat your army.
Ooh.
Sean, calm down. He's not typing, he's probably fell off his chair.
Can you possibly remind your son I'm not English? Please.
Oh, yes. Siobhan is from Jersey.
Yeah, I'm mostly French,
She's a
love.
Jersey
All right.
girl.
So you can
That
either hate me
Jersey-
for being French, or you can remember that France and Scotland are the old allies.
My pronounce is Galachon.
Gallichon. Yep.
There you go. Wouldn't know I failed French.
No. No, we
No,
don't.
we're
To be
just
fair,
making a piss out of it.
No.
It's a family thing. Sean failed as well.
However,
Maybe when
at some
you
stage,
visit
we
your
are going to
dad,
invite you on
the
to explain
microphone's
it
from-
on microphone. We are going to get you to come in and explain this.
Yes, we're going to need this in person.
I just want to point out, you see, I game every evening on Discord with Brian and a few other people. I'm the only Brit among them. So Saturdays and Sundays, the role-playing, and tonight I'm doing this, it's the only time I'm actually on a majority, which means I can do bullying. It's great. Racial bullying, kids.
It's not racial. It's,
You're fucking American! Sorry, I shouldn't say that. You could probably shoot me from there.
we do have the guns for
You have the guns, exactly.
Yeah, you do have the firepower.
No, please understand, because this is the fucking internet and somebody's bound to take offence. This is all joking. It's great banter, all right?
Bit of fun.
But Sean, yeah, we are going to get you on microphone explaining this, because I want to see Brian's face. Yeah, I think we're going to fuck off now before it just goes really, really wrong.
I
No. I've done a silly thing.
Oh,
I've done a silly thing. Hang on, let's go back. Let's go
You've done the
something else.
thing.
I've done the thing.
stuff.
Yeah, say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
15 episodes and it still goes wrong.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Threads don't have nightmares.